In the name of Allah, the most gracious, the most merciful, and peace be upon you. It's June 7th and Saturday night in Pakistan. First of all, I apologize that today's vlog is also coming a bit late. The reason is that most of the team members are on leave. And of course, Eid is going on. So because of that, there are a few hiccups here and there, for which we sincerely apologize to you. I understand that there is a commitment to you, just like you expect your newspaper on time. In the same way, we have to call on time, no matter what the event is. We always try, regardless of the day or how our health is, we always make sure not to break that commitment with you and to present you with the day's scenario and information no matter what. So once again, we sincerely apologize that this vlog is coming a bit late. I've already told you the reason. So now let's head straight to today's important news. And the very first news we'll present to you is from Saudi Arabia. Because the overall situation that is developing is definitely giving this kind of impression now. That's why we'll try to put this question before you as well, and also try to highlight the similarities for you. Pakistan's current Field Marshal, the Army Chief, as you know, is in Saudi Arabia. Pakistan's current Form 47 Prime Minister is also in Saudi Arabia. Not only that, the current Chief Justice of Pakistan, however, he may be also presently in Saudi Arabia. And that's not all. The person who is heading all the political case benches is also there, Justice Aminuddin. Yes, the very same who is heading all benches related to Imran Khan, political parties, or any upcoming constitutional amendments. This constitutional amendment, all such constitutional benches, Justice Aminuddin, is also currently in Saudi Arabia. So if you look at the military side, it's Saudi Arabia. If you look at the judicial side, it's Saudi Arabia. And all the other links in this regime are also connected to Saudi Arabia. All right, then. You might say that I'm trying to read too much into this. It was the time of Hajj. So people went to Saudi Arabia. All right, let's accept your point, but then you can't ignore the political activity happening there. Meaning the meeting between the Field Marshal there and the Prime Minister from Form 47 with Mr. Mohammed bin Salman. Not only that, but immediately after this visit, as soon as they returned, the current head of state of Syria, Jalani, who took over after Bashar al-Assad was removed, is visiting Pakistan. Although obviously for Pakistan, upsetting Iran over this wouldn't be a very good move. But at the same time, since Jalani is very close to Saudi Arabia, you might know that recently when President Trump visited Saudi Arabia, he met with him there as well. And all the measures the US had taken against the then head of state of Syria, as putting a bounty on his head or declaring him a terrorist, were all withdrawn by the US at that time. It means Saudi Arabia's full, you could say, the trust Saudi Arabia has in him, or that Saudi Arabia is fully endorsing him. Now you might ask, what is the purpose of going over all these things? The reason we are going over all these things is because in the past, we have already seen an entire movie play out in exactly this way. Not just the trailer, and that movie was in Egypt. We are talking about General Sassi and the way in which General Sassi overthrew the government there, the way in which he removed the elected leader there, then put him in prison, and even apparently took his life in the end. Or it is said that he died of a heart attack inside the prison. But what happened in Egypt now shows many similarities with what is happening in Pakistan. Because in Egypt as well, in exactly the same way, the members of the ruling party at that time were either systematically killed, pursued, or separated from the party. Those who did not comply were thrown into prisons. And just as on November 26 in Pakistan, their own people were shot, the same thing has already happened in Egypt. There too, the killings and violence happened on a very large scale. As for General Sisi, all the world powers, and you could say that except for Iran, all the other Muslim powers have also given him their endorsement. So what is currently happening in Saudi Arabia, I'm not giving you any news. I'm simply presenting an observation to you as an analysis. I would like you to, because it's possible that I might be overreading some things, since I also have my own biases. Obviously, because of my relationship with Imran Khan and due to my political cause, my way of thinking aligns with Tehreek-e-Insaf. So it's possible that I'm reading too much into this whole situation. It's possible that my style of thinking or the way I am interpreting this situation is flawed and contains a bias. That's why I would like you all to definitely comment. To everyone who has been following along and contributing, I want to sincerely thank you for your ongoing support and engagement with this blog. Your participation, whether through reading, commenting, sharing, or even just quietly appreciating the content, has been invaluable in helping this community grow and thrive. As we look ahead to the next chapter, I encourage each and every one of you, no matter how big or small your involvement has been so far, to please continue supporting and contributing to the next phase of this blog's journey. Your unique perspectives, thoughtful feedback, and creative ideas are what make this space vibrant and meaningful. By staying involved, you help ensure that the blog remains a dynamic and welcoming place for everyone. So whatever you are able to do, Heather, it's sharing your thoughts, suggesting new topics, or simply spreading the word. Please keep it up and help us move forward together into the future of this blog. This is a well thought out effort and a script, and I definitely need your opinion on it. Please be sure to write, so that by reading your comments, I can understand how you and I are thinking about this. Let's move on to the news, which we present to you from Adiala jail. Mr. Imran Khan is spending his fourth Eid in jail once again. Once again, he was not allowed to offer Eid prayers. He was informed just yesterday that he would not be allowed to offer Eid prayers. But not only was he not allowed to offer Eid prayers, as you know, before Eid, all inmates are allowed to meet their families, especially with their loved ones. But even his meeting with Bushra Bibi, who is in the same jail, was not permitted. Along with this, as is the usual method of our Chaudhry Sahib, he says you are corrupt, he says you are cowardly, he says you are compromised, you are not patriotic, your religious matters are not proper, your character is not right. So the attack is on every front. In addition to attack Imran Khan's religious beliefs, they spread the news that while the Eid prayer was taking place, Imran Khan was in his cell resting. Brother, when you had already told him a day before that he would not be allowed to offer Eid prayers, then tell me, if he wasn't in his cell, where else would he be, given where you have kept him? Of course he would be there. But outside, to portray him negatively in front of people, to carry out character assassination, or to cast doubts on his religious beliefs, such news is being circulated. Along with this, I can't even repeat everything that happened on the Dunya TV screen. There was an Eid-related transmission on Dunya TV in which Mr. Suhail Varich was also present. Kamran Shahid was anchoring the show, and Irshad Bhatti was also there. In that show, there was a woman named Fiza Ali, who I think hosts a morning show, at least that's what I gathered from reading about her. I saw this clip on social media, and in that clip, with utter shamelessness, and the singer Jawad Ahmed was also there. By the way, I've never actually listened to any of his songs in my life, so I have no idea how well he sings. Maybe you all know whether he sings well or not, but I don't. He does tend to talk a lot, though, and he was also sitting there and on national television, on a major TV channel during Eid, he and the others were making extremely ignorant and below the belt criticisms of Bushra Bibi, a woman who cannot defend herself there, who had no representative present. They were attacking her for wearing a veil and for other personal matters, and Suhail Varich was joining in as well. Now, Suhail Varich has always presented himself as a democratic, moderate, non-personal, peace-loving journalist. But for the past few months, he has been making personal attacks continuously. He's been making such attacks as if he's a member of the Sharif family, and he's been launching very personal attacks on Imran Khan and his wife, going far beyond the usual limits, crossing even the boundaries of what's considered below the belt. Frankly, I have to say these are extremely vile attacks. I still think he has very close ties with the current Mohsin Naqvi and other people. But for someone who calls himself a moderate journalist to stoop to this level is quite disappointing. He's also written a couple of articles and columns like this. Anyway, let's move on. Thank you for what you're doing. But when your turn comes and people criticize you in this way, then you complain that people are too harsh. But after the words and actions you've used, this is all that's left to happen. Now, in Saudi Arabia, our field marshal has been up to something new. The new thing is that he's the first army chief to have gotten so close to the Sharif family, as if he's a family member, as if there's some kinship or a friendship so deep it's like family. The closeness is such that now, standing shoulder to shoulder with Nawaz Sharif's son, Maryam Nawaz's brother, and Shehbaz Sharif's nephew, the field marshal is performing prayers and umrah with them. It looks as if they're all from the same family, strung together on the same thread. And this relationship isn't an administrative or governmental one, it's a relationship of friendship or kinship. I mean, the closeness between them is such that you can't see any distance at all. There's not even the slightest crack visible between them. It's not that I want there to be a rift, I'm just saying look at how close they've become. Have you ever seen such closeness before? Yes, it's true that with Saudi Arabia, because of our military matters, security related issues, financial dealings, loans, oil imports, and religious affairs, whenever any prime minister visits there, sometimes the army chief is also present at the same time. But it's never displayed publicly like this. You don't see them standing shoulder to shoulder performing prayers together or walking around together or spending time together in such a close manner. There's always a certain distance maintained. I myself went with Imran Khan on a Saudi visit, and at that time General Bajwa was also there. But whether it was visiting the Prophet's shrine or performing umrah, both delegations were separate, their activities were separate, and you wouldn't see them together there. And when we were in Saudi Arabia, it wasn't as if there was no communication. Imran Khan had a perfectly normal relationship with them. Of course, it's a different matter that General Bajwa was conspiring against Imran Khan from the very first day of the government. But even then, you never saw such a public display as you're seeing now. So it's quite clear that there's an unusually close friendship here. Now, as for Nawaz Sharif, he is also very... You would see them working together where you'd see Shehbaz Sharif performing umrah, Nawaz Sharif's sons performing umrah, and the field marshal performing umrah together. Over there, Nawaz Sharif gathered his faded memories in London. In London, and I say this without any disrespect, but in a rather awkward or ordinary voice, someone who might sing in a neighborhood street. And again, I don't mean this disrespectfully. I just don't know who was singing, listened to songs in his own praise from them, and had a few people seated there. Now his circle, his group has shrunk. I think everything about him has shrunk. By everything I mean, his politics has shrunk. His way of thinking has shrunk. Whatever aura he had has shrunk. His impact has shrunk. And even his status within the PMLN has diminished. Along with that, the gathering in front of him has also shrunk there. Weren't even 20 people, maybe even less, about 15 people seated at 2 or 3 tables, and a person comes and sings songs in his praise, telling those 15 people that the gentleman sitting here is Nawaz Sharif, and recounting all his achievements. Now, even the singer's voice was like that. I mean, things haven't gotten so bad. Sure, Mian Sahib's political influence has shrunk, but not so much economically, so at least he could have had a good singer stand with him, or maybe listen to some other song, something different. But instead, he had a song in his own praise sung there, and that too in a very off-key voice. From this, you can see what his situation has come to. But on the other hand, I have also presented to you what the Sharif family and the field marshal are doing. All right, now the third piece of news I want to present to you is Jahangir Tareen's indication of returning to politics. You know that Jahangir Tareen was first involved in politics with President Musharraf, then he joined Imran Khan, and after that he formed his own party. When he formed his own party, he contested one election from Lodran and another from Multan against Amir Doga. In both places, he suffered a crushing defeat. Not only did he lose, but he was made to lose. Now, why am I saying made to lose? Well, in terms of votes, he did lose. Obviously, the public voted for the other candidates. But who actually counts the votes? Everywhere, Form 47 was issued. So if the intention had been to make Jahangir Tareen win, just as Shahbaz Sharif or Maryam Nawaz from the Sharif family were made to win, or as 70 to 80% of the people in the entire assembly were made to win, or even 90% of people were made to win through Form 47, he could have been made to win in exactly the same way. But he was not made to win not in either constituency. So the military people who are currently in charge, their field marshal, I don't know what kind of grudge they had against him, but they definitely took their revenge. Now, the problem for him is that he is no longer relevant. He suffered such a humiliating defeat. Secondly, what he did wrong was that he included in his party those people from Pakistan Tehreek-e-Insaf who had been abducted and brought to television and were being forced to change parties like Ali Nawaz Awan, whom he also made join his party by sitting him down with him. Not only did he form a new party, a new general's party, and not only did he lose in the worst way, but he also had people abducted like Iqbal Shah, who was his opponent in Lodran. He did terrible things there. Now, once again, sitting in a press conference, he has announced that Makhdoom Ahmed Mahmood, who has been a governor and is in the People's Party and is a close relative of Nadeem Sahib, but they are also bitter rivals now. It seems their relations have improved again. So sitting together, he said that if he returns to politics, he will come with Makhdoom Ahmed Mahmood. From this, I think he has hinted that perhaps he is considering doing politics from the platform of the People's Party. Let's see what happens in the coming days. But this announcement clearly suggests that he might join the People's Party. But now, it's hard to understand if he joins the People's Party, will he again have poor Iqbal Shah abducted, or the other woman there, Samar Advocate, who was also contesting the election against him, she was also abducted, and her brother too. I mistakenly said Iqbal Shah. His name was Pir Iqbal, Pir Amir Iqbal. Let me correct that. He had him abducted, but even then he did not get Form 47. His situation became very embarrassing. All right, let me quickly share some news from Kashmir. Kashmir has built a bridge to connect Indian territories and Kashmir. It's a railway bridge, and now the train has been connected from Srinagar to other areas of India. This bridge for the fast-speed train is about 3,500, precisely 332 meters high from the river. They say it is perhaps the highest bridge in Asia, or maybe the highest bridge in South Asia. It took them 26 years to build it. They started this project 26 years ago, and after 26 years, they have completed it. As you know, they have already ended Article 370, and after that, their process of fully integrating Kashmir into India or completely occupying it is ongoing. Now, they have established this train connection through which the train will reach Srinagar via Draktale. Modi inaugurated this bridge. He went there himself. Modi raised flags there. As you know, whether it's our own Field Marshal or Modi or any other people with a dictatorial mindset, whenever they get even the smallest opportunity, they try to make it a grand national event in every possible way. So what's happening in Pakistan is the same. After a war or skirmish, the way there's an attempt within Pakistan to turn it into a big event, whether it's the DG, ISPR or other people, you're seeing exactly the same kind of actions. On the other side, Modi is doing the same, and now with this bridge, they've done the same sort of things as well. But we're sharing this news with you because India is penetrating into Kashmir very rapidly. And on the other hand, the way we are treating the Kashmiris or our own situation, all the international consequences that resulted from General Bajwa's compromise on Kashmir are right in front of you. Now, let us show you the situation in Birmingham. This is Birmingham, a city in the United Kingdom. Don't mistake it for Bahawalpur or think it's Bannu or any other city in Pakistan. This is Birmingham. And here, the same thing happened as we see in Pakistan or in India. Sometimes during the sacrifice, the animal isn't handled properly. So this animal got loose, escaped, and is now running freely on the streets of Birmingham. Obviously, when an animal runs like this, it knows it's about to be slaughtered, so the fear inside it can also make it dangerous. So even the locals here are all worried, wondering what's going on. On the other hand, in Peshawar, so on one side, Birmingham, meaning Europe, is turning into Pakistan, and on the other side, Peshawar is turning into Spain. Because in Peshawar as well, you'll see many videos like this. It doesn't just happen in one place. In Peshawar too, an animal was mishandled in the same way, and it's running loose. It looks just like that sport in Spain, the bullfighting, where the bull runs, and you have to provoke it and also avoid it. People are climbing up poles, people are hiding, and the bull is running around. It looks exactly like that, except the people are Pakistani. But the whole scene looks exactly like it's happening in Spain. So please, when you're going to perform the act of sacrifice, when you have to fulfill this religious obligation tree to involve a professional butcher, or at least handle the animal with some care and thought. There have been so many distressing videos showing that right in the middle of the slaughter, the animal suddenly gets up covered in blood and runs off or injures someone or drags someone down or jumps off the truck it's being transported on. There are a lot of such terrifying videos coming out. So since there are still a day or two left in which sacrifice is to be performed in Pakistan, there's still one more day left, and abroad as well. So please handle the animals properly so that the whole process goes smoothly. Besides this, I have another request. Whatever animal you are slaughtering, please do not film videos of the slaughter itself, the blood flowing, or the meat. In my opinion, by doing this, you are disrespecting the entire process. And those are graphic images that you send to each other, blood flowing. The animal itself, obviously when the animal feels pain during slaughter, it is being done in the way of Allah. So it absolutely must be done. I'm not saying anything against that. But there is really no need to make videos of it. So please try to avoid this a little. Allow me to take my leave now. May Allah be your protector and helper. Long live Pakistan.